I'm 13 years old and I've never known my dad. I haven't started puberty yet, but I know I'm going to soon, and I'm nervous. I don't have anyone to talk to about it, and it's starting to make me sad. Also, my mom doesn't like sports, but I do. She's letting me play them, but I don't have anyone to help teach me at home. This is just a little thing, but it kind of bugs me. Plus, I have questions and problems that I don't want to talk to my mom about at all. I don't know what to do. Did any of you grow up with no dad? What should I do? Thank you for all the nice replies and messages and everything. You guys are super nice, and it's made me really happy. I read almost every single comment but couldn't reply to them all because it was taking too much time. I think I responded to every message, but if I didn't, I'm sorry. It just means I didn't see it, and you can send it again if you want. I'm gonna ask my mom about signing up for Boy Scouts because it seems like a good idea, and lots of you have been super nice and offered to give advice. Thank you all. Story 1. Role models are everywhere, and I believe that most male authority figures will not only help you but will do so happily and generously. A friend's dad, uncle, older cousin, teacher, coach, or someone at your church or other community gathering that your family might attend. I had a dad, so I'm no authority, but I would gladly help someone in your situation. I am a coach and I help when asked 100% of the time, and I'm glad to do it. People like teaching and explaining things they are good at or understand, and most people are very willing to help others, especially kids that need and request their help. Good luck, you've got this. Story 2. I'm in my late 30s and I'm in the same boat. Luckily, I've got some really close male friends who have done well in my father's absence. Now that I have a kid, I strive to be better than him. I was told once, a decade or two ago, that no matter how small or insignificant you are, there is always someone who looks up to you, someone comparing their life to yours in the moment they see you. Even just picking up a piece of garbage on the floor at Target, there might be someone admiring your actions. Story 3. You could check out programs that provide mentors for boys in your situation. 2 off the top of my head: Big Brothers Big Sisters, Boys to Men Foundation. There are others. You could also try your luck with the Boy Scouts. My Scoutmaster was a terrific role model and he had a profound impact on my life. For that to work, everything depends on the quality of the Scoutmasters. Story 4. This question made my heart ache. Growing up without a dad is tough, little brother. Obviously, no one can replace your father, but if you have any questions, I can do my best to answer them either here or through a private message if you don't feel comfortable making them public. Story 5. I grew up with a single parent. I think the biggest thing that helped was having a lot of male role models outside of the family. I had a lot of mentors and teachers growing up who I looked to as father figures. Even though we weren't necessarily related by blood, we were often incredibly close, and that helped a lot with having a male role model to look up to and emulate. Story 6. I grew up without a dad. I'm now 35 and have 4 kids. One thing your dad, as well as mine, have taught us is how to be a dad. Do the opposite when you get older. Focus on your education and a great career. This way, you can show your future kids how a dad is supposed to be. Don't go down the wrong path. Be a real man starting now. This way, in your future, you have success and can be the greatest father. Story 7. I met my real dad for the first time when I was 19. My mom married twice and neither acted like a dad. I had my father figures in the forms of my uncle, my grandfather, and my Taekwondo instructor. I'm 29 now, and my Taekwondo instructor is still my best, longest, and current father figure. Story 8. Whatever you do, do not self-destruct. Speaking from experience here. Keep your chin up, kid. Really evaluate your feelings with a clear mind and know it is okay to hurt. Develop positive habits to get the angst out. I repeat, do not be self-loathing and self-destructive. Know you are going to excel and plan accordingly. Story 9. I grew up without a father, and I figured I would share a couple of things. Someone else mentioned that there are role models all over the place, and that's true, but you might not understand their influence until you are older. They will be there, though, and you will be grateful for them at some point. I'll be honest, if your experience is like mine, it will be tough. You will feel alone at times, and you will be envious of your friends that have strong men in their lives. You will gravitate toward others who are in the same situation as you, but they won't be able to answer the questions you don't even know how to ask. But there is a silver lining. You don't know it now, but this difficulty will teach you resilience. You will learn to count on yourself and you will learn to figure things out. Someday you will discover strength in you that a lot of other people don't have. Don't let not having a father be an excuse. Don't think it makes you weak or wanting or less. Don't make it the reason you don't seek to master your life. If you can do this, you can be great. There are a lot of great men in the world and in history who grew up without a father for one reason or another. Figuring out how to depend on themselves and the world around them, and developing resilience, help them become who they are. You will be fine. It took a lot of self-awareness and courage to even ask the question here. You are well on your way. Trust me. Story 10. One thing I will say is, don't be afraid to talk to your mom. It seems embarrassing, but a lot of people don't have that relationship with their parents, and I think it's super important for trust. Story 11. I essentially had no dad growing up. I lived with him and my mom for about a year or two in 4th and 5th grade, but haven't really talked with him since. You will find your way like I, a 21-year-old man, have and figure things out for yourself. Just look to people around you for guidance, people you respect and want to emulate. Search online for things you have questions about or ask one of the people you look up to. It does feel difficult, but I don't ever take time to feel sorry for myself or act like I am a victim or anything, whether for this or for other things that caused my somewhat rocky and unconventional childhood. You will be okay and figure out all of that on your own and be better for it. Story 12. Hey buddy, I'm not there, so I can't play sports with you or anything, but please feel free to reach out with questions. I'm 27 now and it feels like yesterday that I was 13. Life moves fast and it's kind of scary, but you're gonna be all right. Message me anytime and I'll do what I can. Story 13. Hey there, there's a subreddit called Internet Parents, and you might find advice there when you feel you need advice you can't ask anywhere else for. This doesn't replace a human connection or someone setting an example for you, so I truly hope you find someone who does. Story 14. The fact that you even ask this question means you're thinking for yourself and fully aware of what is right and wrong. You really only need one loving parent. Frankly, you are better off with no father than a bad or abusive father. Any respectable man will answer any question you have. If you have an uncle or cousin, feel free to ask them. If you have other questions, feel free to ask them in this community. No one is going to cast judgment against you without getting backlash for it. If you want to learn to tie a necktie or how to shave, just watch YouTube. The internet really has all the information you could ever need, and you are so lucky to have access to it. Although I wish you had a choice in this matter, you don't. I have a friend who grew up as an orphan during the Bosnian War. She literally had bomb holes in her apartment building. It was just her and her sister when they were your age, and they both turned out to be respectable human beings, and they are much stronger because of it. Just realize you are so much better off than so many others. If you have any questions, just ask away. Story 15. I know this will probably sound weird to you now, but your mother has probably worried far more deeply and far longer about this than you have. While I can understand not wanting to talk about certain subjects with her, there is probably a lot she wants to tell you if you bring up the subject. Also, she probably has a list of possible male role models in mind. It will also be good for her to know that you are seeking out this resource yourself. I've never heard of a single mother who wasn't worried about her son's masculine development. While she may not be able to serve in this role, she can definitely help you fill it. Story 16. I would just like to say, as a dad of 13 and 15-year-old sons, I would be happy to give you my personal information. I would be happy to help with anything I can, questions or advice or whatever. You are not alone. Story 17. You have to ask. I had a bad dad situation growing up, and I didn't know what to do either. Looking back, there were coaches, leaders, or teachers that, had I just asked for help, would have helped me. Don't be afraid of your school's guidance counselor. Talk to your coaches if you play sports. Talk to a trusted teacher, male or female. Tell them the honest truth and how you feel. You will be able to find local help. Ask until you find it. I have learned you have not because you ask not is very true. The reality is, and something I wish someone would have told me, is that you'll probably look for one mentor or father figure to meet all the needs you have. And I'm so sorry to tell you this, son, but it's a slim chance you'll ever find that. You can find mentors and life coaches for various areas of your life and build a network of trusted men you respect. Takes time, but you can do it. You just have to ask. A young man should pursue what he knows he needs to succeed with purpose. Take your time and enjoy life. Your body will never feel as good or recover as quickly as it does now. Find something physical that you enjoy. It doesn't have to be sports or lifting, although lifting is great for a young man to get started. And the gym is another place to find men who may be willing to help. Stay away from alcohol, drugs, anything hard right now. There will be time for that when you've got a secure and solid base underneath you. Be polite. It only makes your life better by being polite to people around you. Being polite isn't being a doormat. Trust your gut. If someone is unpleasant, you don't have to pretend to like them. But a young gentleman doesn't fight because he knows that he must carry himself well to overcome the challenges set before him. If you're reacting to something emotionally, it is okay to ask someone for a minute to collect your thoughts. You can cry if you need to. You can be quiet if you need to. You can give yourself time and space to figure things out. You only get one chance at this thing called life. There's no starting over. Bad days come and go. The only thing you can control is how you respond to them. Don't let one bad day ruin the rest of them. One more. The most important. Take this if nothing else. Literally, no one is perfect and does everything right on their first try. Don't let yourself get down after a failure. We all fail. It's the only way to learn. When it happens, instead of focusing on what went wrong, think about it like this. Wins. What went well? Something did. You can find something. Learns. What did you learn from this experience? Changes. What changes are you going to make to things within your control to be better prepared next time you are faced with the same situation? Story 18. I also grew up without a father or any positive male role models, and now I'm a father of 2 teenage boys, aged 14 and 17. When you need some advice or just want to bounce some ideas around, you can always send me a direct message. Story 19. Join an organization that interests you, and you will find role models. If that's sports, then join a team. Work really hard and try to develop a relationship with the coaches if you like them. You could do this with martial arts too if that interests you. Or Boy Scouts. I learned a lot and did a lot of cool activities in Boy Scouts, how to camp, how to cook, how to shoot rifles, and archery too. I didn't have a dad growing up either, and I learned from some good men doing what I described here. The volunteer fire department is an option. They usually have a junior program. And the Big Brother program is good too. You can get personal and ask these questions in Big Brother. That's what they made it for. Story 20. I have a dad. Haven't spoken to him in about 8 years as he became a total scumbag. Sometimes you are better off without. No one to force their views or beliefs on you and bring you up with a warped way of thinking. Forge your own path and be the person you want to be with your own views and personality. Story 21. I am going to get downvoted for this because people dislike his politics, but a lot of the fatherly advice a young man needs can be covered by Jordan Peterson's self-help material. Do not go into his other strange discussions about society and politics. They are a bit off, to say the least. However, his advice on helping young boys grow into men is perfect for your situation. Aside from that, play sports. Participate in team sports where you get the male bonding you need with your teammates and the male leadership you need from your coaches. Play a sport where you go on trips and similar activities. Story 22. Go to your coaches at school and explain your situation. Assuming that you don't have a lot of money in a single-parent situation, tell them that you want to be the best that you can be at sports and you will work as hard as you can to make that happen if you get the opportunities. Maybe they know about opportunities that you don't. If you get the opportunity, work your hardest. Be the first one in and the last one out. Don't be goofing off. Work hard at it morning, day, and night. I'm not sure what your other questions and problems are, but being around others should help. Go to a good church semi-regularly, even if you aren't religious. Always be humble. Story 23. I don't want to assume your religion. If you have one, but I want you to know that I'm sincerely praying for you. my friend. I know what it's like to have a parent gone. My mom left me at a very young age. I will tell you that if you play sports, then talk to your coaches. They can really help you out and turn you into an amazing young man. Every coach dreams of helping someone with real problems in their life. If you're not in sports currently, then consider it. Not only does sports shape you into an athlete, it builds character and confidence. It also builds lifelong friendships that are some of the most meaningful parts of life. I'm praying for you and hoping for the best. Keep your head up. Story 24. Hey Lucas, I'm proud of you, man. I grew up without a father as well. The fact that you're posting here shows amazing maturity and emotional intelligence. Fill that void with the role models around you, uncles, best friends, your best friend's parents, teachers, and so on. It doesn't have to come from one person. It can come from multiple people. At a primal level, we will always find a way to fill a void. What matters most is how healthy of an approach you take. And it sounds like you are off to a terrific start. Keep it up, kid. I'm rooting for you. Story 25. Besides the other advice here, join the Boy Scouts. You don't have to do it for the goal of earning your Eagle Scout. You can do it for the camaraderie and mentorship you're looking for. Plus, you'll learn a ton of skills that dads otherwise teach their kids. Story 26. A friend of mine is involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters of America, and I know for certain that one of his little brothers is 14 or 15. For what it's worth, my friend is 29.